All right, so now you're going to take your favorite thumbnail from the previous worksheet. So you're going to have out your thumbnails. You're going to take your favorite idea from here. I really like this idea here. We're going to take your favorite idea from here, and you are going to transfer it and make it bigger and more detailed and really think about it in terms of the face. So, one of the things that I put a generalized face on your paper. So one of the things you might want to do is take a piece of scrap paper and draw it on top of there and then cut it out and glue it to your final paper if you want, or you can just start drawing right on here. So if I start drawing here, I'm going to draw outside. I said that I wanted this part to curve in to make the artist palette. So maybe I do this. So I curve in, make the artist palette, and then I'm curving up and around so that I can see out of both eyes. Maybe actually I think I want to cover up this eye. So maybe I'm seeing out of only one eye. Maybe I like that idea. So you want to make sure your mask comes outside of your head. You can make it come even more outside, but realize that in order for it to kind of sit on your head, it's going to have to come around your head a little bit more. Now, one of the things you're going to need to think about is where your eyes are is kind of an indent. So this area here indents in. Where your nose is, where the bridge of your nose is, sticks out. So where your cheeks are, they stick out. The space between your lips stick out, but the space between your nose goes in. Your chin sticks out. So as you're thinking about this mask, I don't want you to treat this like it's a flat object, because it's not. It's going to end up being rounded. It's going to go in and out. So maybe you think about things like, if this is going to be an indent, I make that whole indent a color. I make that color there, that color here. Now my paintbrush, the reason I liked this one was I had the paintbrush coming down the middle, and the paintbrush became my nose. So that I have that kind of following the shape of my nose. And then I go in. Here's where, if you want to draw a paintbrush, you should probably be looking at one and looking at the details it has, so that things are recognizable. Show that this is going to be like a paintbrush. We've got all of those. We'll stick one more thing here. Make sure I'm filling up the space. I'm not leaving too much empty blank space. You might want to add more details or add more of a pattern. You want to make sure that there's not big empty spaces. Right now I've kind of got this space here that's a little empty. But when it comes to an artist palette, I think it's a pretty, I don't think if I put anything here, it's going to make it look a little too full. So you might want to leave yourself some resting spaces. But you don't want to have like half your face all flat, one color. So I've got my colors. Now the other thing, now I'm going to take markers. And I'm going to kind of think about the colors that I want. You're going to color this neatly. So each of these would be a different color. Now one of the color requirements is going to be that you're going to have to mix colors. So you need to use at least a couple of secondary colors. You want to color this in neatly, not leaving too many white spaces, so you really have an idea of what colors you're going to need to mix. Also, so that we know what is getting done in plaster, because anything that's colored you need to make in plaster. Anything that's white is just the face around it. So, you're going to color this neatly, and Then you will move on to prepping for plaster. So, go finish your final thumbnail.